Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
The Detroit Tigers have added second baseman Ian Kinsler to an already omnipotent lineup. And the Padres hope Chase Headley can build off his winning base hit in Cleveland on Wednesday as we welcome you to Petco Park, the first of a three-game series. The American League Central champions from Detroit, the Tigers, they lead with a 5-2 record early this year against the San Diego Padres. And good evening, everyone. A happy Friday to you with Mark Grant, Dick Enberg. The Tigers, I don't know where you start and stop with this lineup. It's an all-star lineup, and the man that's got to shackle them is Andrew Cashner.
And when Andrew Cashner gets on the hill tonight, he has got one thing in mind, pitch by pitch, to try to get these Tigers out. And up and down the lineup, really not a lot of breathing room, but Andrew Cashner has proven before that he can go through good lineups with the best of them. Don't even look at the record. The ERA, 1.11. Innings pitched, 56+. The opponents only hit 176. Why? Well, the command of the breaking ball and the two-seam fastball that really got him over the hump last year. He can put these Tiger hitters in fits if he's on with that two-seam fastball like he's shown before.
Two quality starts already for Cashner this year, and yet he has no wins. In fact, his teammates have not given him one run to work with.
He has got to just erase that from his memory and go out there and go pitch by pitch and try to get these Tigers ahead and put them on the defensive. That's for sure.
Well, the book of superlatives for Miguel Cabrera is about that thick and growing. American League Most Valuable Player the last 2 years, 100 RBIs 10 years in a row.
Yeah, batting titles, MVPs, triple crowns. Look at the numbers. Other than that, the guy pretty much stinks. I didn't see him walk across the bay this morning. You know what I'm getting at?
Oh.
I don't think he walks on water. I think if he's pitched to correctly, these Padre pitchers can get him out. The one thing for sure, you can't fall into a pattern. You can't leave it out over the plate. Mistakes. That is a big key to Miguel Cabrera. If you throw him a mistake, chances are he's going to crush it. Let's see if the Padre pitching staff can avoid the mistakes.
Well, we welcome back Brad Ausmus. He played 4 years behind the plate early in his 18-year Major League career, was in the front office with the Padres the last 3 years. Now the new skipper of the Detroit Tigers. He's back trying to beat the Padres. Coming up.
to San Diego. As Dick Enberg mentioned, Brad Ausmus is his first year as the Tigers manager. He spent the last 3 seasons here as the special assistant to the general manager. Here's Ausmus and what he's learned in his first year as manager.
There hasn't been a ton of surprises, to be honest with you. I think the biggest thing is the time commitment. It's, players are kind of used to be on their own schedule to get there in time for stretch, get their hitting in, their ground balls, etc., play the game. Well, manager, you're there, an hour before any player even thinks about getting to the ballpark, and with the preparation and the media, and there's just a lot more involved. Not that I'm surprised by it, but it's just the time commitment's bigger.
And Brad said during his 3 seasons here, he used to sit with Buddy Black. He got tons of advice from him, so I'm sure this will be a special night for him. Coming up, we will celebrate the 30th anniversary of the World Series between these 2 teams, the Tigers and the Padres, back from 1984. That's coming up on Fox Sports San Diego.
World Series, the Padres dramatically beating the Cubs in the NLCS.
Deep right field, way back, Cutter going back to the wall, it's gone! And the Padres have the National League pennant!
The Padres rode into the World Series on the strength of a mix of chiseled veterans and young stars, won a superstar to be. The Tigers would win the series, but that didn't deny a magical season for San Diego. And it should be a terrific weekend series. The pitching strength of the Padres against the hitting power of this Detroit club that won 93 games a year ago, on their way to the playoffs. Let's look at the Tigers lineup of Brad Ausmus, brought to you by Mattress Discounters. Rajay Davis leads it off, plenty of speed. He's a 40 steal operator at the top of the lineup. Then the new Tiger, Kinsler from Texas, Miguel Cabrera. We'll be talking a lot about him this weekend. Victor Martinez, not bad in that cleanup spot. First base, switch hitting power. Center fielders Austin Jackson. Don Kelly is in right field for Torrey Hunter. Hunter with a bruised knee. Alex Avila is the catcher. And hitting eighth, Andrew Romine, the shortstop. Rick Porcello, not a bad hitter himself.
And on the mound for San Diego, right-hander Andrew Cashner, and his scouting report is brought to you by Jaguar of San Diego. You know what? Keep doing what you are doing and keep building on your success. We've talked about Andrew Cashner and the strides that he has made as a starting pitcher. The two-seam fastball, the changeup, the slider. He's got his work cut out for him, but you know what, though? These Tigers have to face the Padres' best right now tonight.
A look at the defense behind Cashner, brought to you by Aramco Mortgage. Seth Smith in left. Venable will patrol center field with Denorfia in right. Headley at third. Cabrera at short. On the right side, Jerko and Alonso. Rene Rivera has become the catcher for Cashner thus far on the new season. Behind the plate again for the big right-hander. 6'6" and 219. Cashner played his college ball at Texas Christian University. Stepping in is Rajay Davis, hitting 294. Want to keep him off the bases. Davis, since 2008, has 243 stolen bases. Off to a good start in the new uniform, picked up on waivers. Man, first two pitches close, but 2-0 the count. Last one was off the plate. Great matchup of pitchers tonight. Cashner and young Rick Porcello, and then tomorrow Adam Kennedy against Justin Verlander, Cy Young winner a couple years ago, and then Tyson Ross against last year's Cy Young winner Max Scherzer. High fly ball, routine center field, and Venable squeezes the first out.
All right, Andrew Cashner pounding the zone, not missing by much, and it's a big first out.
Keep him off the bases. There are the umpires tonight. Andy Fletcher behind the plate with Buckminster, Muchlinski, and the crew chief Winters.
You got a mouthful on the bases tonight, huh?
Kinsler in his first 7 games in Detroit, coming from Texas for Prince Fielder, hitting .313. Solid player.
Boy, when Brad Ausmus was named manager of these Tigers, he probably went to bed that first night and thought, my goodness, I have inherited one great lineup.
Strike two. Off speed. Good breaking pitch. And Miguel Cabrera in that third slot in the batting order. Ausmus, 45 years of age next Monday. Boom. Tied him up. Strike three. Kinsler didn't know where the ball was, didn't try to run it out to first base, but 3 pitches, he's gone on strikes.
Tremendous movement on that last pitch. Kinsler, even looking back, he was amazed at the movement on that 2-strike pitch from Andrew Cashner.
All right, Mark Grant, this is going to be an interesting matchup. Let's go pitch by pitch. How will Cashner work to Miguel Cabrera? He is the all-time tough out.
Absolutely, Dick, and I think he's going to go down and away to him, up and out of the zone by design. It looks like a first pitch slider.
He has right field power, right center field. There's a lot of home runs in that direction. Mark Sweeney talking with the Tiger people said that in batting practice sometimes he won't even pull one ball. He hits everything to right field. High strike, fastball at 96 with ease.
Yep. Good control of that 2-seam fastball. You know, that first pitch, it was definitely off speed. It might have been a slider or maybe even a changeup on the outside part of the plate.
Two-hopper, Headley. Low on the throw, and safe at first is Cabrera on an error by Headley. He was skipping some throws on the road trip as well. So the Tigers get an extra out here in the first inning, and here's first baseman Victor Martinez.
And we all know that with the potent lineup of these Detroit Tigers, these are things that the Padres can't afford to do. The short hop, a lot of time, and that's one of those in-between hoppers for Yonder Alonso over at first base. We've seen him make some of those plays, but we've seen Chase Headley throw a strike over the first base as well. Not the case on that one.
Martinez, switch hitter, .321 average. Has a couple of home runs. Left-handed, batting .320 thus far this season. And a tough hitter to strike out. He struck out only once in 20 plate appearances this year. And last year he was the second toughest in the entire American League.
Looked like a change up there from Andrew Cashner. You know, with these Detroit Tigers loving the fastball and having the good hitting team that you might see a lot of changeups from Andrew Cashner in fastball counts.
A ball and a strike to Martinez. Cabrera at first. Just underway on a beautiful night here in San Diego.
You know, two hitters in this Detroit lineup that should be smiling ear to ear are Ian Kinsler, we just saw, because batting in front of Miguel Cabrera, and then also Victor Martinez here, because chances are Cabrera's going to be on base, a chance for an RBI.
Yeah, he's got a chance to be in that 100 club with Cabrera.
Andrew got squeezed on that last pitch.
Now 3-1.
See, this is the thing about the error we talk about. It prolongs the inning for Andrew Cashner.
He should have been out with 10 pitches thrown. Martinez will be swinging if he likes this one. Ball 4. So an error and a walk, and the Tigers have 2 men aboard for Austin Jackson.
Now it's time for our keys of the game. As always, brought to you by Honda Dealers of San Diego County. Get into their bullpen early. Their bullpen is not doing well early in the season for Brad Ausmus and the Tigers. And timely hitting. Get some runners aboard against Rick Porcello and drive them in early. In fact, the bullpen for the Tigers, 5.66 ERA, 26th in Major League Baseball. That's tying up one of those keys to the game tonight for San Diego.
Jackson leads the Tigers early with 3 doubles. There's a strike.
You know, getting back to the error, Dick, a good pitcher like Andrew Cashner will say, you know what, I need to make the quality pitches the next guy. I need to get the next guy out after that error.
Oh, 1-2.
Good slider. That's exactly where Andrew Cashner needs to be, down and away with the slider. A slider so good that you can even tell hitters that it's coming. If you place it correctly, there is not a lot that they can do with that pitch.
2 on, 2 out, and 2 strikes on Jackson.
Nice block.
Jackson last year with the Tigers hit a solid 272, dozen home runs, knocked in 49. Native of Garland, Texas, 27 years of age. Struck him out. Went to the heater, 98 miles an hour. Couple of strikeouts for Andrew Cashner in the first inning, and here come the Padres first time up. Cabrera, Denorfia, and Smith to face Rick Porcello. Petco. Crowd still filing in. Let's look at the San Diego lineup, brought to you by Toyota. Cabrera has the best average of anyone in the lineup tonight, 333. Then Chris Denorfia. And then the Troubles, all the rest in that lineup hitting under 200. Smith, Jerko in the cleanup spot. Headley, Yonder Alonso 6. Venable in center field bats 8. Rivera looking for his first hit of the season 8th, and Andrew Cashner will hit 9th. The bats will wake up. Let's hope it's against these Tigers. Start of a 10-game homestand. It'll feature 4 with Colorado and 3 next weekend with San Francisco. Rick Porcello, 6'5" right-hander, just 25 years young.
And here's the scouting report on right-hander Porcello. Fastball, changeup, curveball in that order. He'll run the two-seamer on the lefties and the changeup and curveball out of the zone. If he gets ahead, like a lot of pitchers, try to make a chase.
92 with that fastball strike to Cabrera. Cabrera with 4 doubles in the first week and a half of the season.
There's that two-seamer into the lefty to straighten you up a little bit. Lefties kind of had their way with Porcello the last year, but he's making his move to try to bring those numbers down.
That's right, Mark. 260 right-handers against him, but 306 lefties. Next, Scherzer, the Cy Young Award winner a year ago, will pitch on Sunday. Slap foul by Cabrera. And the Padres are going to see the Tigers' best. Porcello won 13 games last year. And then Verlander and Scherzer. Line drive, base hit. Cabrera greets Porcello. Solid single up the middle.
Hockey suit. That's a good at-bat by Everett Cabrera. Right off the bat. Going up the center of the diamond. And Mark Sweeney talks about all the time, driving with the legs and using the whole part of the field. Right center field, left center field. How about up the middle? Right past that old English D on the cap. Now that's some kind of nice.
Cabrera has 1 stolen base thus far. Just haven't been a lot of opportunities. See if the Padres can strike first. They've only done that once in the first 9 games, and that was the game they won in Cleveland. Denorfia. There you saw the sinker of Porcello. He throws a lot of ground balls.
Yep.
In fact, he was second in the American League ground balls to fly ball outs. 2.38.
So much you can do here with Cabrera on first base. Put him in motion. Denorfia swings the bat well. Good bat control.
Balls behind, 2 strikes. Seth Smith on deck for Bud Black.
Well, the last thing you'd want is a strike him out, throw him out. 2 strikes, not going to put a hit and run on.
And with a left-handed hitter due next, you'd like to keep that man at first base to open the hole for Seth Smith. It's a veteran team, the Tigers, a 25-man roster, one of the oldest teams in baseball. Porcello among the few that are 25 or younger. High school at Seton Hall Prep in New Jersey. By the mound, tough play made well by Romine, the shortstop, with Cabrera moving to second base. Tigers defense reads this way tonight. Davis, Jackson, and Kelly fanned left to right in the outfield with Cabrera and Romine. On the left side, Kinsler at second, Martinez, the first baseman, Avila behind the plate for Porcello. Miguel Cabrera holding down that third base spot. Not a bad fielder, big man.
No, this kid's got a chance to be a good player someday.
Yeah. Fun to watch him take batting practice. So the Padres have a man in scoring position early for Smith and Jerko.
Yeah, Dick, this is one of our keys to the game, right?
Score early.
Big hits. Runner in scoring position here. And Porcello starts him off with a curveball for strike one.
Slow curveball, 78 miles an hour. The 2 home runs for Seth Smith coming here at Petco against the Dodgers. Kinsler ranging behind the first baseman to make the play, and Cabrera on to third. Broken bat. It was aimed in a good spot, but not enough behind it as the bat was shattered.
Looked like a changeup out of the hand of Porcello. Remember, it was a changeup that Jose Fernandez threw Seth Smith in Miami when the bases were loaded, and he needed to see how far out in front he was, and he hit it off the end of the bat. Good arm action from Porcello, pulling the string on that changeup.
Jed Jerko, 4 hits and 32 trips, leads the club with 4 RBIs. Good stop by Avila. Cabrera dancing down the line at third, ready to fire for home.
Some pitchers may be a little reluctant to throw that breaking ball with that runner on third base, but this is where, as a pitcher, you have to trust your catcher. You don't want to hang a breaking ball here. Give up a base hit and a run. Tight slider right there.
1-1 to Jerko. Chase Headley on deck.
Hey, I remember a couple years ago picking up the Daily Rag, and remember Rick Porcello's name was mentioned in trade rumors with San Diego. His name was thrown around there for a while. Nothing ever came to fruition, but you can see why the Padres would like to kind of talk about a right-hander like Porcello.
High fly ball to right field. That ball's hit well. To the wall goes Kelly and can't make the catch. Rams into the wall. He may be hurt. Here goes Jerko to third, and they'll hold him there as the Padres take the lead 1-0. And Don Kelly went headfirst into the wall and right. Fortunately, that's a screen that does give ground and isn't a solid concrete wall that you'll find in many major league parks. He's conscious, but might be a bit woozy.
Well, Jed Jerko does a great job of taking the Porcello slider the opposite way. Remember in the instructional before the game, Mark Sweeney talked about Miguel Cabrera going the opposite way. Off the glove. Oh.
No way to protect himself as he was concentrating on the catch.
He didn't even have a chance to slow down.
That was a mean heart that greeted him.
Well, Dick, you make a good point because that screen out there has some give to it.
Trainers for the Tigers making sure that he's okay, testing his neck as he hit that at an awkward angle. Score a triple for Jerko. Kelly was playing very shallow, so he had a long run to go to get there. So Ball and Wall arrived almost simultaneously. Concerned in the Tiger dugout, but apparently he's trying to be able to stay in the game. See, he had a long run.
Yes, he did. Flash look to see where the warning track was, and then he makes the attempt and then loses his balance there. Ooh.
He's fortunate that wasn't serious.
And Austin Jackson was all over it as well. He was drifting over there to right field to get the baseball when Don Kelly was down on the warning track.
So the Padres score in the first inning. A good omen. Winning the last game in Cleveland, it was a similar play in right field that led to the run in the first inning on the way to the 2-1 win. Headley 4 for 32.
Head trainer Kevin Rand didn't even skip a beat out of that dugout. He was out there immediately to see the condition of his right fielder.
Ball and a strike. Jerko has knocked in his team leading 5th run. One and two.
Two-seamer again, inner half. Well, you start that ball off the plate, and then the left-hander kind of gives up on it a little bit, and then before you know it, gets that inside corner for the called strike.
Left center field, and in the gap. That'll score Jerko. Headley on his way to second with a double, and the Padres are leading 2-0. Well, maybe that broken bat RBI single that won it in Cleveland is just the remedy for Headley to get his stroke back. He found the hole between Davis in left and Jackson in center.
But did you see how Chase, that was almost like a two-part swing. And the reason why I say that is because he started his foot forward planted, kept his hands back, and then almost a pause, recognizing that big breaker out of the hand. And rather than trying to pull that ball, it was just like a big balloon, outer half, driving it towards left center field for the RBI. That's a good at-bat by Chase Headley and Jed Jerko. Back to back.
Here's Alonso. He too hungry for a hit. 6 for 35 on the season. I know that going on and on chanted about the importance of scoring first and how it correlates to victory, and Padres have done that only once prior to tonight. They won that game. Now they've got an early lead, 2-0 against the Tigers.
Get that pitch count
20,
up, huh?
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. 20 pitches already.
Make him work. Merry-go-round inning. 1 on, 1 off. Keep it going.
That's headed to right center. Hanging, and run down by Austin Jackson. But the Padres get a single from Cabrera, RBI triple Jerko, and Headley brings in Jerko with a double. It's a 2-0 San Diego lead.
on the scouting report for Andrew Cashner, and it's very important to throw up a 0 here in the top of the second.
Alex Avila, 2 for 16, off to a slow start. Jerko able to scramble, cover it, throw him out. Good play.
Going to his right, going to his left. Avila turns on that ball. And Jed Jerko from his knees. Yeah, he's got a strong arm. He doesn't need to get up to his feet. From one knee, the old dippy-do from down under. Fires a strike to Alonso. 2 quick outs here for Cashner.
Got a chance to see that again. He broke on that ball as the ball was struck. He was into that first step right now. That was the key to the play. Romine is 1 for 9 on the season.
I look at Cashner and I said, you go, big boy. He's got it working out of both ends. He's got the beard on the front. He's got the mullet in the back. And a nice catch by that future big leaguer. Yeah. Give me a high five on that one. See you in the big leagues.
That's going to make the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Mighty happy. Another one. Watch out. That's a wicked low liner back into the box seats. Just behind the Tiger dugout.
That's why you got to bring your guante, bring your glove to the ball yard. Especially if you're sitting over the dugouts. There, see, he's ready.
Romine played his college ball at Arizona State.
Sun Devils.
His dad, Kevin, remember,
yes.
Kevin Romine, an outfielder with the Red Sox.
Tried to overthrow that one. Rivera was set up inside, and pitchers will do that. He wanted that two-seamer up and in a little bit, overthrew it, and it was up and away where he couldn't get hurt.
Headley gets another chance behind the bag at third and throws this one too high, and he's out. Good job by Alonso. Got up and down and flagged the mid on the runner. Romine coming up the line, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Andrew Cashner. Will Venable will lead it off for the Padres in the bottom half of the second.
No. Let's go. He don't want to walk you. You mean you're talking about striking him out? Yeah.
30 years ago, the World Series, the Tigers and the Padres, and Dick Williams of the Padres and Sparky Anderson of the Tigers. And Anderson guessed right. He said, he's not going to walk you. Be ready to hit.
Oh, that's great stuff. Game 5, October 14th, 1984.
Venable pops it up off third for the first out. First ball swinging.
You think Rich Gossage wants to pitch to him with the infield in to hopefully get a grounder? The future Hall of Famer wants to throw the heater, try to throw it by Kirk Gibson, and he turned that around. That was up around the eyes that he sent into the right field bleachers at Old Tiger Stadium. I don't want the infield in. I want to strike him out. That's great.
Both the managers mic'd on national television to get that great interchange. Rivera takes ball 1. Rene looking for his first hit, 0 for 6. 2-0 Padres, last of the second. Porcello, highly regarded out of high school. He was a first-round pick of the Tigers, 27th overall. Years he's won 62 games. It's the most ever by a Detroit Tiger pitcher 20 years or younger, starting at 20 or younger.
Yeah, he's made some great strides. It's the off-speed pitch, the secondary pitches that have really helped Rick Porcello. Heck, he's already got 5 years of Major League service at the age of 25.
Line drive, right field. There's the first hit of the year for Rene Rivera, who had an excellent spring training. That'll make him feel good. 1 out single brings up Cashner. Andrew, a terrific bunter.
That's what happens when you hang a breaking ball up around the Padres on the chest. And the key there is getting that bat head on the top half of the baseball and not working underneath it for the high pop fly to right field for the easy out. You got to hustle, Rene. Seen that right fielder try to throw to the first baseman to get a slow runner.
Cashner in spring training, they have quite a heated contest to see which pitcher is the best bunter. They have various assignments, the circles on the field. You get points for the perfect bunt. Well, Cashner won that against all competition. No, he can swing the bat, loves to do it.
And you know what? With that said, Dick, you know as well as anybody else, you might show bunt and then do the old butcher boy here, right?
He practices that. He's probably the best of the Padres at executing. Got that third baseman Cabrera sneaking in on the grass. And another pitch out of the strike zone. So not offering it a bad pitch, which is a common malady. Pitchers trying to sacrifice. They're up there to bunt, and they'll bunt at almost anything. Now 2-0, so Cashner looks lovingly at Glenn Hoffman at third to see if he can get the hits on.
You got Cabrera crashing at third. You got the first baseman holding on the runner. There are so many things you can do with them moving in. Cashner can go this way, can go that way.
Yep, you guessed it. The old butcher boy, they let him go for it. 2-1 the count. Tough to execute, but it's something you can talk about for weeks and weeks when you pull it off. Back to the bunt. Boy, Cabrera really charging hard. He figured that he's already tried the butcher boy, that he's not going to do it again because he was running dangerously close to home plate.
And you get a pitcher out there with a good two-seam fastball, that's very, very hard to bunt and keep fair.
Two and two the count. With Cabrera charging that hard, you have to try to bunt it toward first. That's the play. And Cashner goes down, and that's going to make him very unhappy. He's proud of his bunting. First strikeout for Porcello. Well, you talked about Kirk Gibson against Goose Gossage. He didn't want to walk him, and Gibson made him pay.
51,000 on their feet at Old Tiger Stadium after that home run, rocking the place. Detroit Rock City.
Motown. Cabrera singled and scored in the first. Padres, if you're just joining us, for the first time this year, scoring earned runs in the first inning, or in the first 3 innings for that matter. Prior to tonight, they had scored only 1 unearned run total in the first 3 innings. That's 27 innings with 1 unearned, but they get 2 in the first inning tonight. Turn it around. Start showing their hitting muscle. Triple by Jerko off the glove of Don Kelly in right, and an RBI doubleheader.
I like how the Padre hitters are getting that pitch count up for Porcello. 33. The next one will be 34 for the right-hander.
Lined right to Cabrera. But swinging the bat well, Everest Cabrera. We go to the third at Petco. 2-0 for the home side.
Kurt. Right man in right spot. Get out of here.
The ever lovable Kurt Bavacqua, who was the hitting star for the Padres in that series. 412, hit a couple of homers.
Crushed that breaking ball out of the hand of Dan Petrie.
Right man in the right spot.
Yeah, you don't do that to Dirty Kurt now. He'll make you pay, and he did.
Porcello, the pitcher, leads off the Tiger third.
Put this guy away quickly. He's a good athlete. We talked about his hitting. He can hit a little bit.
Doesn't get a lot of opportunities in the American League, but in interleague play, he's 4 for 17 with a couple of RBIs. Then top of the order, Rajay Davis and Ian Kinsler for Detroit. On the outside corner, strike 3. Strikeout number 3 for Cashner. Brings up Davis, who flied to center to open the ball game. Well, Ian Kennedy off a fine start in Miami, picking up a win against the Marlins. Takes on Justin Verlander tomorrow. Baseball night in San Diego, Saturday baseball night, and they're giving away those long sleeve Padre t-shirts. And every Saturday night, if you're making your ticket plans, you know, if you come out to the yard, you're going to get a nice gift courtesy of the Padre management.
Well, Padres, like you said, play the Tigers tomorrow. You know what that means for the Tigers. bad news for the Tigers.
That's going to be bad news, huh? Don't tip them off.
Facing that man, right-hander Ian Kennedy. Doing a little scouting himself here from the dugout. He'll be in front of the video underneath in the clubhouse. Nice.
Right there. Davis frozen.
You know, I don't think, I can't remember, and I'm sure somebody will come to mind, but a pitcher who has great control, great command of the two-seam fastball. I'm talking power fastball. Greg Maddux didn't throw as hard as Cashner, but that two-seam fastball, when he can locate it like that, watch out.
Good job by Rivera to frame that pitch. 2 outs on strikeouts. 4 total now for Cashner. You mentioned Greg Maddux. This day in history, April 14th of 1996. Maddux, remember, had the longest ever road winning streak. He had won 18 in a row on the road, and the Padres beat him 2-1 to end that streak. 18-0. His ERA was .99. 20 games. That ought to get you into the Hall of Fame. Kinsler takes a strike. 2-1. He grounded to short his first time.
As I mentioned earlier, beard in front, mullet in the back, sinkers on the black. It's a lifestyle for Andrew Cashner.
2-2. He's pounding the strike zone tonight.
Great movement. And free and easy, too. He is not overthrown, and that ball is just jumping out of his hand.
Fouled off his foot.
A little slider. Well, it's key about location for Andrew Cashner, like any pitcher. But look at our Fox tracks brought to you by Nissan. Down and away. That's beautiful.
That's where a pitcher can make a good living. Struck out the side. All 3 looking. Porcello, Davis, and Kinsler. Paralyzed by that fastball from Andrew Cashner. Sidorfia, Smith, and Jerko coming up for the Padres. Padres baseball by GMC. See why incredible thinking is everywhere. Visit your local GMC dealers today. By Petco, where the healthy pets go. By Mercury Insurance. Mercury Insurance is giving away free Padre tickets. Learn more at mercuryinsurance.com/Padres. And by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. Denorfia starts the third for the Padres. He grounded to short his first time. Denorfia, Smith, and Jerko for San Diego. Yeah, good news. Cameron Maven is active in a rehab assignment with El Paso tonight. So he may be close to returning to the club.
That's good news, huh?
Get some of the wounded back in uniform. Denorfia has that good protective swing with 2 strikes on him. Spoils one that he can't really drive. Gives himself another chance. 1-2.
One thing I've noticed about Porcello early tonight, he's throwing more of that slider. He's pretty much just a fastball, changeup, curveball type guy, but he's flipped up that slider many times. He's got a good feel for it tonight. Sinker in.
Brad Ausmus, interesting choice by the Tigers. No big league managerial experience, nor minor league. He did coach the Israeli team in the World Baseball Classic. Line drive, base hit to center field. That's another good 2-strike hit for Denorfia. Padres have 5 hits off Porcello.
Well, like so many Padre hitters we talked about tonight, Chase Headley staying on the breaking ball, taking it the opposite way. Denorfia with 2 strikes, taking it to the first base side of second base for the leadoff single. Here's, a big key for Brad Ausmus is this man right here, Gene Lamont. Good baseball guy. Was under Jim Leland. He managed the White Sox many years, managed in Pittsburgh. He's been bench coach many, many times, but my point is for Brad to have Gene Lamont at his side is a huge help. And Brad will be the first one to admit it as well. Good baseball man, Gene Lamont, and Dave Dombrowski, the general manager for the Tigers, feels he made a good choice for Brad Ausmus being the manager of the Tigers. Good coaching staff.
He's made a lot of good choices, Dombrowski, in Detroit. Was he the GM to trigger the trade for Miguel Cabrera?
He's been there a long time.
Must have been. The Tigers got Miguel Cabrera, the superstar, for 6 players from the Marlins. One of them, Cameron Maben.
Yeah, that was Dave Dombrowski. He's been there for 13 years.
What a trade for Detroit.
Yeah, this is his 13th season.
There's a base hit to left field as Seth Smith goes the opposite way. The Padres showing their hitting colors tonight. Denorfia stops at second.
Before that hit off the bat of Seth Smith, he had 1 strike on him, and he takes the pitch the opposite way. All the hits for San Diego tonight have been with 2 strikes, so that means they're protecting well, putting good swings on 2-strike pitches. That's pitches with a P. And seeing good results.
I think pitches always starts with a P, doesn't it?
We need another one right here. Another big one.
Jed Jerko sent that long fly ball to right field that Don Kelly ran into the wall, could not make the catch, ruled a triple, knocked in the first run. Then he scored on Chase Headley's double to left center in the first inning. Chance to do more damage for Jerko.
Might see a lot of 2-seamers here. Front Porcello try to get that ground ball. Try to roll 2. That's why you got to get it elevated as a hitter. Take it where it's pitched.
One ball and 1 strike.
If I were a betting man, Dick, I would say sinker slider in this situation here against Jerko. He just missed big time with the slider.
Pitching coach Jeff Jones. Porcello giving up 6 hits here in just 2 innings plus.
Tough to turn on that sinker when it's in and elevate it like that. You know, sometimes I look at Brad Ausmus, and I still feel like he wants to put on the gear. Watch him get down and block this one coming his way. He was always good going to his right.
3 times a Gold Glove winner, Ausmus, in his 18 big league seasons.
I'll bet you he's even wearing his cup, being the former catcher in the dugout. Always be prepared.
Yeah, I think they traded in for a coffee cup. I think that's part of the deal.
Ooh.
Smothered foul. 1,938 career games, and he can still walk a straight line. He was here 3 years in the front office as a special assistant in baseball operations, so he's been close to the game.
Great baseball guy. He was going to end up managing somewhere. Giving signs to Avila behind the plate. Avila.
Strike 3. Fletcher paused and then rung him up. Second strikeout for Porcello. What do you have for us, Chris, buddy?
Well, after Headley got that first RBI up in Cleveland, he told me, he goes, I feel like I can take a deep breath. I can smile. He said he kind of downplayed his struggles earlier in the season to everyone, but deep down inside it was really eating at him, says he's his harshest critic.
Chase Headley. RBI double the first time. 1 out, 2 on for the Padres, trying to add to their 2-0 lead.
Love to see if Porcello goes back to that breaking ball, right? Because he was hurt on that breaking ball. To Chase Headley, his first time up, he went the opposite way. Let's see if he tries to pound him inside this time. We'll go changeups down and away. There's a changeup down and away, supposed to be down and away.
Our new research assistant, Greta Wall, digging through the baseball annals. We talk about catchers making managers. Currently, of the 30 managers in big league baseball, 10 caught in their career. And that ball stays fair. The throw to second for 1 and back to first. A double play. Headley got a slow start out of the box, and wisely Avila fired to second, and they turn the 2-6-3 double play. The Padres lead it, and it's time for the Southwest Airlines spray chart on Cabrera. But first, let's look at what he's done in the last 4 seasons coming into this year. First in home runs, RBI, slugging percentage, go-ahead RBIs, runs scored, and intentional walks. Sends a ground ball to the shortstop, Everett Cabrera, who gets Maggie. Now the spray chart brought to you by Southwest Airlines.
Pretty much a pull hitter. Hits by direction this season, 4 to left, 4 to center. But he does have that opposite field power, right center field. Remember Mark Sweeney talking about it.
Yeah, you were talking to Wally Joyner, the new hitting coach for the Tigers, about Cabrera and his routine. Share that with us.
I was, Dick, and I asked him, what makes him so special? And he said, you know what? He loves to work at the game, work at his craft. And I think that is very important to talk about. But he said in this batting routine, especially in batting practice, he works inside the baseball and tries to hit to the opposite field all the time. And that just tells you what he tries to do. Does he pull it? Of course he does, but he understands how to get that barrel to the baseball and power it the other way as well.
And that was your instructional, wasn't it, Mark?
It was, and it's, this is a guy that is the extremes, and Mark, that's the elite player in the game, especially offensively.
You know what, Mark, you make a good point, because there are a few players that we've seen through our lifetime, and Dick, going back when you were a kid, looking at all the greats, I describe Cabrera as one of those guys to where, you know what, if you want to go buy some nachos or a beer, you're going to hold off and watch that at bat. Right. The concession lines get shorter and shorter when you know this guy's going to come up to the plate.
I was shocked that there weren't more people here at the ballpark for the Tigers batting practice. And when you get a great hitter like that, that's what, I mean, it's another treat. It's like a bonus before the game itself, just to watch him swing the bat in batting practice. A late arriving crowd tonight. The fact that teams, and it changed 10 years ago or so, don't take infield anymore. It used to be you get to see batting practice, see infield, see who has the arms, and so there's not a lot happening between the end of batting practice and the start of the game. So fans are now accustomed to coming late for the start of the game and not to watch BP. And that, to me, that was always one of my favorite parts of going to the game. Victor Martinez works the count to 3-2.
Yeah, Dick, I think you make a great point, especially with the infield outfield, and I think fundamentally you're seeing a lack of fundamentals in the game because of that process. And you see a lot of people now, they're trying to force that issue. Ryan Sandberg said they're going to try to take some infield practice as much as possible during spring training.
Back to the mound, and Cashner, a good athlete, stabs it, and it's a 1-3 put up.
Well, not only has Andrew Cashner made good pitches up to this point against his whole lineup, but particularly to Miguel Cabrera, keeping in the ball yard, taking the sting out of his bat. And this is one thing that really doesn't shine for the Detroit Tigers is their defense. But Andrew Cashner plays good defense, fielding his position. I mentioned it many times. With the bat, he can make some noise. With the glove, he can field his position, and he can turn it on when he needs on the base paths as well.
That's 9 straight retired since he walked Martinez in the first inning.
Dick and Mark, he's done a great job making some good pitches all the way around tonight. What's it look like down there, Mark, that two-seam fastball?
Oh, you see the late movement, especially late in the strike zone, and you can see Rene Rivera asking for that ball down. They have great chemistry, as we talk about. But it looks to me like Andrew Cashner has a different focus tonight, and I don't know how it looks to you, but he looks locked in to me.
Yes, he is.
50th pitch of the night coming up. Another play for Cashner. Throws a bullet over to first base, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Cashner. Takes care of 2 of the outs himself. Go Park the scene, bottom of the fourth inning, and the Padres lead 2-0. And we invite you to come out to Petco Park and watch the Padres and Tigers tomorrow. 5:40 start, folks, and all of you in attendance will receive a free Padres long sleeve t-shirt presented by State Farm and supported by the mighty 1090. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at Padres.com or call 619-795-5555. My goodness, that looks like Omar the tent maker made that one.
Yeah, this is a Quad X specifically to fit me. And I love the big line
drive leading off Alonso into the right field corner. That rattles off the boards, and by the time Kelly gets it in, a stand-up double for Alonso. He joins the hit parade. So everyone in the lineup now with a hit except Venable and Cashner.
off-speed pitch, a high changeup, outer half. And, you know, a couple of times this evening already, Mark Sweeney, the Padre hitters are capitalizing on some pitches up in the zone.
Yeah, you talked about it earlier, Mark, and just being flat with that sinker. It doesn't look very comfortable with Rick Porcello with that sinker. He's not getting a lot of that late movement we said Andrew Cashner is, but beautiful swing by Yonder Alonso.
Well, the Padres with a 2-0 lead, a chance to add on. Here's Venable. He fouled off the third base line to Cabrera the first time up. Looking for his first RBI of the season. He's got somebody out there.
Runner in scoring position. First pitch changeup, missing for a ball. Looks like Andrew was getting some tips from bench coach Dave Robertson, hitting coach Phil Plantier.
Tapped to the right side. Kinsler gets him. Close play. But situational hitting, that does move the runner Alonso to third, where he can check in on and out.
No room for error here for Ian Kinsler. The glove, the flip throw, and gets him by maybe a fourth of a step. Will Venable sees the play right in front of him, put the head down and try to get right there. Yeah, about a fourth of a step. Good hustle by Will.
Rene Rivera singled his first time. Infield draws in for the Tigers. Trying to cut off the run at the plate. Infield tight. Hitter's delight for Rene Rivera. Line drive right to Miguel Cabrera for a double play. Oh my. Can't hit it any harder than that, but right to the glove of the third baseman for another double play. Casino. Real friendly, real close. By the Jack in the Box. Try the new Bacon Insider. It's got bacon mixed right into the patty. And by the Aramco Group. Purchase, refinance, reverse. Yeah, getting in April, ready for the summer months. Out to the beach and playing in the sand.
Oh, yeah.
Beyond right field here at Petco Park.
I wonder why all my sandwiches my mom made were always crunchy at the beach.
Lowest ERA since the All-Star game last July. Andrew Cashner, number 4 in the major leagues. We're going to see number 5, Max Scherzer, for the Tigers on Sunday.
You know, Dick, just looking at that list, Andrew Cashner not being recognized only in the National League, all of Major League Baseball. The word travels quickly.
Don Kelly, Alex Avila, Andrew Romine, 7-8, 6-7-8 in the order to bat here in the 5th inning. Kelly none the worse for that collision with the right field wall. 10 in a row retired by Cashner. Lays in a nice, easy 90-mile-an-hour strike.
You notice that too? That's the beauty of the two-seam fastball, right? If you can locate it, it's almost like a changeup. You can throw it 97, you can throw it 90.
High fly ball lifted to fairly deep left field. Smith is there. 11 straight. The only Tiger base runners back in the 1st inning. Cabrera safe on Headley's throwing error, and Martinez with a walk. That's been it.
He's got the camo T-shirt underneath Andrew Cashner. He's going hunting for some Tiger.
He does love to hunt. Avila, the closest to a base hit for the Tigers tonight, a ground ball headed for right field that Jerko was able to move quickly to his left, skid on the grass, and make the stop and throw him out. Starts him with a changeup. Catch.
Hey, I got an idea.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Hey, when Cash pitches, come dressed in your camo and wear a big old cowboy hat. Come on, get on board. Howdy, Tex.
Sounds like a promotion.
We got to get some themes going with our Padre 9.
2-1 now.
You know, when Ian Kennedy pitches, roll up to the ball yard in a Trojan horse. Park that thing down in the parkade. Get a group of about 8 people come out of that thing.
Oh, beautifully thrown, the changeup. 2-2.
I got you thinking, don't I, Professor?
Yeah, that's it. Put on the creativity cap.
Ooh, just missed.
Off the inside edge. It's 3-2. Avila and then Romine here in the top of the 5th inning for Detroit.
You have to almost think just a good old-fashioned two-seam fastball on the outer half of the plate.
He got it. A little extra on that fastball at 96. 7 makes it 6 strikeouts for Cashner.
We talked about the two-seam fastball for Andrew Cashner. There's the grip from the right-hander. He just grips it and he locates it very, very nicely. Outside corner, brings it back for the strikeout. Look how free and easy he is with his motion. And this isn't a two-seam fastball that's, 88, 89. It's mid to upper 90s. Very tough to hit and fun to watch.
Playing in on the grass, Headley. He takes care of Romine. Another 1-2-3 inning. That's 13 straight retired by Andrew Cashner. nothing, and it's time now for you to tweet your photo using hashtag SDFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in one of our game broadcasts. Brought to you by AT&T.
It's a lot of fun to get the fans involved and send us the pictures. Oh, the old pie hat there, the cake hat rather. Remember those? Those were big in the 70s.
4 tiers.
Yeah.
No frosting, just a little button on top. Padres have a hit in every inning against Rick Porcello. Cashner comes out hacking. Cabrera and Denorfia to follow. Total of 7 hits for San Diego. 2 doubles, Headley and Alonso, and a triple Jerko. 4 singles.
Yeah.
Failed to sacrifice the first time up, trying to bunt for a hit.
How about Andrew Cashner going straight Bob Horner look with the beard and the hair? Former third sacker for the Atlanta Braves out of Arizona State. What do you think, Mark Sweeney? Good call?
Yeah, I think that's a great call.
How about hit one out like Bob Horner? That'd be even better.
That'd be a better call.
Well, he homered last year, and it was his proudest moment. Even more so than the 27 men he faced the absolute minimum in Pittsburgh. Remember when he threw that one hitter? Struck him out. Turnabout is fair play. For Porcello, his 3rd strikeout, top of the order. Everton Cabrera is single to center and line to third.
You know, Mark Sweeney, it seems like these Padre hitters have come to the ballpark today with a game plan, and they are sticking to it, and it's paying off.
It does. It looks very similar to what you're expecting out of the Padres. Come in and compete in the batter's box. But you're right, Mark. It looks like they have a plan and they're trying to execute it. And tonight, very successful the other way, especially tonight.
Yeah, not a lot of really overly aggressive swings. Taking the ball where it's pitched and just spanking it that way. And it's good results.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to their strengths as well. I think that's what's good sign to see them come out of it. You know it's going to happen, but those first 9 games were a struggle. Tonight they look much more comfortable.
Cabrera set the tone with a line shot to open the first inning. And off speed drops in there. 60th pitch for Porcello. Pretty good ratio. No walks, 3 strikeouts. And he takes care of Cabrera. 2 away. Strikeouts of Cashner and Cabrera. Here comes Denorfia. Line single to right. His last time. Now Porcello gave up the 2 runs in the first inning, and the Padres had other chances, but a double play in the 3rd and another double play, a line drive double play, unassisted by Cabrera 3rd off the bat of Rivera.
Mark Sweeney, I got a question for you. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you talk about eliminating pitches. From what you've seen from Porcello tonight, what pitch would you probably eliminate?
Well, I try to eliminate the breaking ball because he hasn't been successful too much in the strike zone. He's throwing it still, but he's using it as a pitch that looks like a fastball, gets out of the strike zone primarily.
Yeah, that's where I was guessing as well, because the curveball sometimes not there.
Line drive hopper, 1 hopper out to shortstop Romine, and another well hit ball for an out by the Padres as they go in order in the 5th inning for the first time. 1, 2, 3 for Porcello. 2 runs and 7 hits for San Diego. And Cashner mighty tough on the Tiger order as we look at the Saquon Vacation strikeout statistic. Fewest strikeouts by a team this season, the Tiger hitters, and Kansas City striking only 44 times. But we must add also the Tigers have played 2 less games than a lot of the other teams. They've played 7. Padres, for example, 9. Porcello struck out, took a 3rd strike. Then the top of the order, Davis and Kinsler in the top of the 6th inning.
You know, Mark Grant, I wanted to ask you a question about Andrew Cashner, and you can see him evolving with that 2-seamer, but it looks like he's taking off that 2-seamer with the miles per hour on his fastball. Do you see that as well?
Oh, good call, Mark Sweeney. Adding and subtracting, right? Tell you what, that adds so much to a pitcher's repertoire. It's because it's an extra pitch.
Right down the Broadway there.
Exactly. There's an example right there, Mark, because the pitch prior to that was 90 miles an hour as a 2-seamer. He went to that one at 94, and we know he can get it up there about 96, 97. And the control in the outside corner, it's an added pitch, just not a 2-seamer. It's a 3 or 4 different type of pitch because of the miles per hour. And if he takes a little bit off, it keeps it down and it creates more movement as well.
7 strikeouts for Cashner. Only 2 base runners. Miguel Cabrera safe in an error, and Victor Martinez with a walk back in the 1st inning. 14 straight retired since.
He has had 8, count them 8, 0-2 counts tonight, Andrew Cashner.
And there's the first hit of the game. Just eludes Jerko. A valiant effort by the second baseman. Got close. That ball jamming Davis. He just did fist it beyond Jerko for the first Tiger hit. 5 1/3. The innings of no-hit ball for Cashner.
I thought he had a chance. I thought he was going to come up with it. A great diving effort from Jed Jerko, trying to help out his pitcher, Andrew Cashner. Nice try, Jed.
Davis again, a top base stealer. Will bear watching as Kinsler steps in. He struck out both times.
First time out of the stretch since the 1st inning for Andrew Cashner.
Good point. Often that makes a difference. '70th delivery coming up. And this Tiger lineup representing a lot of home run power. Any base runner makes things more difficult for Cashner and the Padres.
Good snap throw by Andrew. Quick with the feet. Firing a low strike over to Alonso. How about making a good quality pitch right here? Keep it on the ground in turn 2.
Davis stole 45 bases last year with Toronto. And he's got one here. And he moves into scoring position with 1 out.
Mark Sweeney, you could, from your vantage point down there, you can almost smell that one coming from Davis as he was getting a little antsy over there at first base.
Well, they made an adjustment. The Detroit Tigers, they didn't feel like they had enough team speed last year, so they went out to get Davis for just that.
It's his 4th steal. And look how close this was to being caught by Jerko, and Cashner said, hey, salute your effort.
And that effort goes a long way, guys. You can see him with the tip of the cap, but that effort goes a long way, especially inside the dugout.
Having the pitch from the full windup now, just the adjustment. It's been an hour since he's not had to go to the stretch, and now falls behind Kinsler 3-1 with Miguel Cabrera next. There goes Davis to third. The throw by Rivera, not in time. Good job by Headley to slap that tag down, but Davis got much too good a jump on Cashner. He stole that on the pitcher.
Now, I was just about to say, because sometimes pitchers will one look at second base and, whoa. I wondered if he lost contact with the bag right kind of there before his arm came off, then his leg came. That's why it's so important for the infielders to keep that ball on the runner on the slide.
So a single and a steal of second and third by Rajay Davis. The infield will play back. Ground ball to third. There's one. Back to first. A double play. Miguel Cabrera victimized 5-4-3, and the Padres retain their 2-0 lead.
It's working.
Padres leading the Tigers 2-0. Come to bat in the bottom of the 6th inning. And it's time now for the Southwest Airlines Military Spotlight. Of course, Sunday will be Military Day here, as always, at Petco on home games. Guys will be in their camos. Seth Smith is grounded to second, and he singled to left field his last time. Smith, then Jerko and Headley for the Padres in the 6th. 2 runs in the 1st inning. That's been it. Everett Cabrera, a line single to center. And with 2 outs, Jed Jerko sent a long fly ball to right field. Ball and right fielder Don Kelly hit the wall at the same time. A triple for Jerko, 1-0, and Headley followed with a double to left center. And the rest has been up to that man, Andrew Cashner. That's a deep drive to left field, but it's slicing foul. Pretty good poke by Seth Smith to the opposite field.
Guys, we've even seen some teams actually have a shift on Seth Smith. Good to see him going the other way tonight. Even that foul ball, that just tells him he can back the ball up a little bit, especially with that sinker ball.
And you know what, Mark Sweeney, I've noticed a lot of changeups being thrown to Seth Smith. We saw it in Miami. Porcello's throwing him a few tonight.
Another drive to left, and this one's going to stay fair. It is in the corner fair, and Smith on his way to second and has another double. Padres with their 3rd double tonight. Now that is interesting, isn't it? That in Cleveland they had that dramatic shift with 3 infielders on the right side, the second baseman in shallow right field. And here the Tigers play it straight up, and Smith goes to left field and gets a double anyway. His single was to left field.
Elevated fastball, outer third of the plate. And keeping that ball fair, because generally speaking, that ball slicing. That's a double.
Padres had a leadoff double in the 4th inning from Alonso, but a double play, line drive double play, took him out of the inning. Here's Jerko.
Well, guys, with those shifts with Seth Smith, you'll see some teams, and they'll play on more on the right side, an extra infielder, because that's how they'll pitch him. They'll throw that fastball in and throw that changeup, so he is pulling that pitch. Looks like the Detroit Tigers are working him differently.
And Smith taking advantage with a single and a double.
Boy, Mark and Dick, the Padre hitters tonight doing a fine job of protecting with 2 strikes. 6th, it's their 6th 2-strike hit tonight. That double off the bat of Seth Smith. It's a good sign.
Jerko knocked in his 5th run of the season, leading the club with his triple in the 1st. Breaking ball.
Slider.
Didn't give him the 2-0 fastball. That's what Jerko was looking for.
That's the perfect pitch he could have taken to right center field. Looked like he tried to open up a little bit too soon and pull that baseball.
Ground ball, nicely gloved by Cabrera. Took that right out of left field. And Smith had to hold at third. At second, rather, as the third baseman makes the play. Well, you can enjoy Padres season tickets plus 12 months of outstanding member benefits with the new Padres season ticket memberships. You get great benefits, big savings on all plans, exclusive on-field access and events, and great discounts at San Diego's finest restaurants. Visit Padres.com/membership or call 619-795-5555. Become a member today. Headley doubled to left center to drive in a run in the 1st inning and grounded into a rare 2-6-3 double play in the 3rd. Porcello jumping in front, 2 strikes.
This is where it's key. Secondary lead at second base. Porcello bounces a breaking ball. You see daylight, take that 90 feet. Have to be aware of a pickoff, though, with Romine sneaking in between the runner and second base. I think that's 3 straight curveballs. You know, I take that back. First pitch was a curveball. Second pitch was a fastball. Now he threw the curveball.
Conan, right-hander throwing.
You know, Dick and Mark, so many times we talk about the Detroit Tigers starting rotation and how strong they are. A lot of scouts around the league saying if there is a huge weakness in the Detroit Tigers, it is the bullpen.
Yeah, good call, Mark. And that was one of the keys to getting to that bullpen. We documented that earlier, the high ERA for these Tigers out of the bullpen. 5.66. That's 26th in Major League Baseball.
Out to Headley, 2-2. Closer is the veteran Joe Nathan. One out. Smith with a leadoff double at second. That ball's hit deep to right field, way back, and Headley will touch them all. First home run of the season, and the Padres add 2 and lead it 4-0.
Well, this was a battle for Chase Headley. He was in the hole, 0-2. He battles to even the count, 2-2. It's a slider, middle in. Watch the hands get through. Watch him throw that barrel of the bat out in front. Oh, then put the sound to it. Now that's some kind of knack.
So Headley, with only 4 singles in the first 9 games, breaks out with extra bases tonight. An RBI double and a 2-run homer.
Guys, first home run on the year, first legitimate smile of the year for Chase Headley.
Bat speed when contact was made, almost 99 miles an hour. Andrew Cashner said, that's what we're talking about from my third baseman. Yonder Alonso doubled his last time. He also is fly to center.
Mark Sweeney, it seems like everything in motion perfectly, mechanically speaking here on Phantom Cam. Palm up, palm down, rolling the hands after contact and sending it a long way.
Yeah, staying inside that slider. What a beautiful swing by Chase Headley.
A soft liner captured by Romine at short. That'll bring up Will Venable. Venable's the only regular without a base hit tonight. Seth Smith with a single and a double, and Headley with a double and home run leading the way.
We've seen a couple battles this year, and then the result being a home run. Alexi Amarista on his 25th birthday in Miami, going yard, and now a great battle, 0-2 to 2-2 for Chase Headley.
As we mentioned at the very start of the telecast, Porcello, tough on right-handed hitters, but lefties hit over 300 against him last year, and so Bud Black loaded up the lineup with left-handed bats, and Cabrera has a single, Smith has a single and double, Headley a double and a home run, Alonso with a double, and Venable with a high fly to left field. And that'll do it, but the Padres scored 2 more. Smith, the leadoff double, and Chase Headley, his first home run of the season. He has awakened tonight. How the Padres have been waiting for that big bat of his to do some damage, and tonight has been the night. A double to drive in one, make it a 2-0 game in the first, and a long 2-run homer to right field to give Andrew Cashner 4 runs on which to lean on. Victor Martinez, Austin Jackson, and Don Kelly, the middle 3 in the batting order for Detroit, coming up here in the 7th.
Great line for the right-hander Andrew Cashner. 75 pitch effort up until this point.
1 hit, and that was Single up the middle, not hit that hard, just eluded Jed Jerko. Starts Martinez with an off-speed pitch, changeup. Martinez has walked and tapped to the mound.
Throw up another 0, right? I mean, not literally throw up. I mean, just put another 0 up there on the board. You don't want to get sick out there.
No
right
regurgitation. No.
Seems like Andrew Cashner, when he gets behind a few times tonight, 2-0, he's gone to that two-seamer. Little rah-rah right there by Rene Rivera. Get it out there now, right on the outside corner. There you go. Down the middle, but for a strike.
Right at the knees.
So important to have that catcher on your side as well. Let's take a look at Max Scherzer on the right.
Scherzer will be opposed by Tyson Ross in the Sunday game. Fly ball to left. Smith is positioned perfectly. One away. As promised earlier in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. You can tweet your photo to #SD_FanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T.
How you doing, Lydia?
Good looking couple.
Thanks for your
Attired
photo.
properly.
Yeah, wearing the colors and the SD.
Kind of have a feeling that you should wear San Diego material, you know, hat, shirt, whatever, if you want to get on this program.
Yeah. See them all over town.
That's in there. As Austin Jackson has struck out and out on a comebacker to Cashner. There's that two-seamer that doesn't quite come back. Breaking ball.
Yeah, how about Andrew pitching backwards here? The slow-mo up on top, the glove hand bringing it through in, and then the torque on that elbow. Oh my.
Oh. And the human body is amazing. Close but no cigar. 93 miles an hour, and the count full now on Austin Jackson. 4-0 Padres here in the 7th.
Oh, that's a strike.
It's a major league pitcher strike.
Yeah, it's on the corner.
That is, and he has struck out Austin Jackson for the second time. Runs his K total up to 8.
Once again, nice and easy, not overthrowing, and the pinpoint control on the outside corner for the big punch out, because Andrew Cashner, the first two hitters this inning, he's fallen behind. 2-0, 2-1, but reaching back. Nicely done.
He's been getting that call on the outside corner, and why not throw it out there? And Rivera doing a good job of catching and framing. Of his 8 strikeouts, 5 are caught looking.
I'll tell you what, Rene Rivera, his offseason job must be building houses, because he's doing great framework tonight.
I get it. Yeah.
You get it? Framing houses, framing pitches.
Yeah, there's a strike, 2-1. He falls behind Don Kelly 2-0, but comes back with that fastball at the knees. Up the middle, played by Everett Cabrera. 1-2-3, the Tiger story in the 7th. Cashner cruising along on a one-hitter of the Tigers.
by a score of 4-0, and a big reason why is because Andrew Cashner is throwing a one-hitter. So let's check out a new feature, Fox Vision. We can track the pitches of Andrew Cashner. Little slider down and away, just missing. Gives you an idea of the track of the ball as he goes with a two-seamer. There's a nice two-seamer on the outside part of the plate. And one thing I've noticed tonight on that two-seam sinker, Dick, as we take a look at the slider fouled off there, when Andrew Cashner is missing, he is missing down. Call third. Track that one back to the dugout there, will you?
And as we've watched work between pitcher and catcher, the articulation, and you see how Rivera, why pitchers like to pitch to him. He gets down so low with the target. Yep. You love that, didn't you?
Absolutely. Give you a good target. Do a little rah-rah cheerleading along the way, maybe light a fire under you, and that's what Rene Rivera does so well with Andrew Cashner. Another thing, Dick, when you talk about relationships between catchers and pitchers, when the pitcher isn't shaking off a lot, right? That means you're thinking along the same wavelengths and you're on the same page, and that keeps a good pace going.
Yeah, I haven't seen Cashner really shake him off all night.
No, they've been working very well together tonight.
Speaking of Rene Rivera, he leads off here in the bottom of the seventh. He's lined a single to right and lined into a double play with Yonder Alonso at third and one out. His last time up, he hit a bullet, but right to Cabrera at third base, and he turned it into an unassisted double play. Porcello goes to work in the last of the seventh inning. That was his 86th pitch. Nice curveball. Four runs, 9 hits for the Padres. No runs, 1 hit for Detroit. O'clock is our Fox Sports San Diego broadcast time tomorrow night. Baseball night in San Diego Saturday night. Oh, it's a party and a big giveaway tomorrow. The long sleeve t-shirts and a chance to see former Cy Young winner Justin Verlander against the Padres' Ian Kennedy. And Sunday 1 o'clock start will be 12:30 for our Fox Sports San Diego pregame show. Across the letters, strike 3, says plate umpire Andy Fletcher. Strikeout number 5 for Rick Porcello.
Well, you see the breakdown for Rick Porcello inning by inning. That was the 90th toss. And I'll tell you what, the 90th toss, Rene Rivera wants back. It looked like by his body language, kind of guessing something. Let the old fastball go by right down the middle of the plate.
Cashner has struck out both times. Not this time, as he rips a single to left center, takes his turn and will hold. Fast fielding, and it's a good thing the Tiger outfielders had done their scouting report, because Cashner can run with anyone. Take your casual time going for the ball. He'd have gone to second.
Not only Andrew Cashner throwing the shillelagh and hitting the one hopper, look at the turn from the big boy. The big Clydesdale going around. He was about a third of the way. Watch me, eyes it. Hey, put some pressure. There you go. Put on the brakes. I like it. Best darn athlete on the field.
10th hit for the Padres. Everyone in the lineup except Will Venable with a base hit tonight. Pitching change, Detroit. again as we go. But one out and a man on here in the 7th inning. A pitching change. Luke Pekonen coming in for Detroit. And tomorrow we're going to be part of a terrific event out on Point Loma at Liberty Station. It's the Parkinson step-by-step walk and 5K run. And every type of runner up to the walker and stroller invited to participate. Great fundraiser for a wonderful cause. It begins at 7 o'clock. There's family fun as well, a kids zone, and some live music, a beer garden for the older folks. For more information, parkinsonsstepbystep.com. They expect thousands to be out there and to participate and to cheer on those who do. So we hope you will spend your morning out there as well. It sounds like a good time.
Absolutely. As Luke Pekonen comes into the ball game, we talked about the bullpen for these Tigers struggling. 5.66 ERA, 26th in Major League Baseball. Pekonen a fastball, curveball, and a split. Mid-90s on the fastball as Rick Porcello now can only sit and wait and watch in the Tiger dugout.
Everett Cabrera with pitcher Cashner a single at first base. 10th Padre hit. That knocked Rick Porcello out. 6 1/3 innings for Porcello, giving up 4 runs, all earned, and 10 hits.
Well, he threw 73% strikes, and you know what, guys? He had no 3-ball counts. Padres bats got to him. Sorry about it.
My late father would have been very pleased to see that name on the back of a Major League uniform. It's Finnish. My dad, a full-blooded Finn, very proud of his heritage. Putkanen.
Oh, is that how? Really?
That's the way the Finns would pronounce it, but they've anglicized that. His family. But he should know that there's a big colony of Finns there in Upper Michigan, up in the UP. The Yoopers.
Yeah.
They'll be cheering for him.
No, not the pitch that Cabrera wanted. Clearly a ball if taken, but rather than 2-0, now 1-1 for Everett.
He's hit the ball hard tonight. The first 2 times, line single and a line out to third. Bounces that one toward the hole, and Kinsler can't get it. Look at that Cashner run. Eases his way into third on the single from Cabrera. Yes, be proud at San Diego in Padre uniform as Cabrera has his second hit of the night. And look at Cashner.
Look at the shuffle, ball in play, got to go right. Force it second possibly. Gets through. And he picks him up and puts him down and cruises into third base.
Should have scored. the way he's running.
Hey, he wants to cross home plate and put a 5 spot up there.
Padres with 4 multi-hit innings tonight. That's the way to break out. See if Denorfia can add on to the 4-0 lead. Runners at the corners, Cashner and Cabrera. Dino with a single in 3 trips. Hit the ball hard the last time, but right to the shortstop. Infield in. And there goes Cabrera. And takes away the double play. His second steal of the season.
Oh my goodness. Well, Lucha Libre doing a little dance there, and 2 runners now in scoring position.
Denorfia's 2 RBIs came in the season opener against the Dodgers. Remember that won it for the Padres 3-1. 2-run single in the 8th inning.
Well, the way the infield is positioned right now, taking them back to their maybe Little League days or Pony League days, everybody in, trying to get that grounder.
Denorfia has been very successful as a Padre with runners in scoring position. Over 300 literally every season. His eyes must get a bit bigger and brighter when he sees those holes through the infield. Two and 0.
Well, I don't see any action in the Tiger bullpen. The reason why I say that is because Seth Smith, the left-hander, on deck, and first base is open. Just a thought.
Brad Ausmus, the first-year skipper of the Tigers. This is Putkanen's first outing of the season. He has waited almost 2 weeks to get on the mound. Did his pitching at the University of North Carolina.
Wolfpack.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking NC State. Tar Heels. My bad. I was wrong.
Hey, nobody's perfect. In the dirt. 3-1.
I'm ashamed of myself, Professor. I really am.
I
jumped the gun.
You know what?
You did.
Yeah, you knew the answer. But, you know, it's so endearing when you're not perfect. You know, people love you all the more.
I like this setup right here because DeNorvia can use the whole field, fight something off.
Right at the shortstop, the throw to the plate, and Cashner is in there. You think he can't run? On contact, the big man sprinting home with a great slide on a ball smacked hard right at the shortstop. 5-0. Cashner's legs along with his arm showcase tonight.
He is doing it all. Watch on contact. On contact, no hesitation. And just gets his left foot on home plate for the score. I'll tell you what, that throw, I mean, when you look at Avila, you know, he was doing everything right. He created a lane. He left the lane for the base runner. His foot was just a little bit out in front of home plate fair territory. And Andrew Cashner doing a nice athletic slide to the foul part of home plate for the score. Look at him go.
Well, these Tigers probably have never seen Cashner, even though he was in the American League, but not on base because he didn't get a chance to swing the bat. And I would guess that the catcher Avila was shocked at how quickly Cashner was hitting home plate.
And you know, I think Romine may have been a little surprised as well.
Because the ball wasn't a slow roller. That was a one-hop smash. Fielder's choice RBI to DeNorfia, his third RBI.
Hey, why not send DeNorfia, huh?
First and third, the infield still in a 5-0 game. Seth Smith. Good cut. After he grounded to second, Smith singled to left and doubled to the left field corner.
Andrew Cashner is doing it all. With the arm, with the glove, fielding his position, with the bat, and with his legs.
If you had a contest with the Padres, how fast you could make that move to home plate on that play. Ground ball right to the first baseman. 3-6 and safe at first. A run scores. No double play. Cabrera checks in. It's 6-0. The throw from first baseman Martinez was offline, and Romine had to kind of pull back toward third base to catch the ball. And by the time he straightened and threw it, was wild high, and Smith credited with the fielder's choice RBI.
I'll tell you what, credit Chris DeNorfia. Good old-fashioned hard ball. As this ball is struck, look at this slide into second base. And that's one of the reasons why Romine couldn't get rid of it. The tag, he takes his eye off it, and then a good old-fashioned hard slide into second base. That prevented probably the double play.
Both Padres hustling. Smith himself not giving up on a ball that looked to be a possible double play. So 6-0, and Amarista will run for Seth Smith. 2 outs to Jerko. Jed with a triple to right in the first inning. Off the glove of Don Kelly, who crashed into the wall. He has struck out and grounded out since. Well, the Padres, run hungry, have scored in pairs tonight. 2 in the first, 2 in the sixth, 2 more here in the seventh.
Remember that the Tigers play the infield in rather than him being back here, right? He's got to go from this angle straight that way. So he really doesn't have. Hey, but still good throw. Good athletic move right there by Andrew Cashner, right?
He just outran the play.
Well, so many things going on there. Then the next hitter, as far as the infield in, creating different angles for position players to get to a bag, right?
And Marista, potential base stealer, but Nairtha saw a fly ball to the shortstop. Didn't quite get the sweet part of the bat on that one. The inning comes to an end, but Cashner, he's the star on the mound, on the bases.
Over the Tigers, top of the 8th inning. Mark Sweeney, Mike Pomeranz working on Padres Live, the post-game show brought to you by Cox Communications. But the story of this game, twofold probably, right? Andrew Cashner, we'll get to him in a second, but Chase Headley, great to see him breaking out.
Yeah, great to see that first hit, and that got him going. But you also saw the nice swing with the slider, and that's gone. Outstanding swing, because you can see straight down the right field line. But also, we will talk about Andrew Cashner's all-around night. Outstanding effort.
He has been nothing short of, well, Andrew Cashner, right? Doing what it is he does. Loves to play the game. Been pitching well, hitting well. We'll have all that for you. And you're going to hear from the manager, Buddy Black, when we see you after the final out. Dick and Mark.
All right, gentlemen. We certainly will be there. Always a delight to hear your great work. Emmy Award winning Alex Avila, Andrew Romine, and the pitcher spot due here in the 8th inning. 3 base runners. That's been it for the Tigers. We'll make it 4. Couple of walks. Cabrera safe on an error by Headley. And then the single that just eluded Jet Jerko. Venable has moved to right field. Amarista stays in the game in center field. And Denorfia switches to left. Over but low, 1-2 to Avila, who is grounded out and struck out. Swing and a miss. He pulled the string, and Avila becomes the 9th strikeout victim tonight.
How about Andrew Cashner pitching like it's 0-0, 0-0. And that looks like a slider or a changeup. Kind of tough to tell. Let's peek inside the glove. Slider in the dirt. Nice pick for the punch out.
It ties his career high. That's a bit surprising that he hasn't pitched a game strikeout double figures.
Let's make it 10 right here. Why not, right?
Here's the opportunity, and maybe even a complete game tonight, although he's now over the 90 pitch mark.
Evan Reed in the Tiger pen.
He's been hitting the corners, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
Particularly that corner, the inside corner to the lefties, and the outside corner for the right-handed batters.
As I mentioned, he's got quality control with that two-seam fastball. A power pitcher with great control. Slider.
Didn't go. 1-2 to Romine. He's grounded twice to Headley at third base. Torrey Hunter ran into the wall earlier in the week, bruised a knee. He's been out of the lineup a couple days. Didn't start today. Struck him out. There's double figures. Number 10. Two outs now in the 8th inning.
Andrew Cashner is dicing and slicing each side of the plate. Down and away to lefties with the two-seamer. Down and in with the slider for his 10th strikeout of the night. And there they are.
Ryan Halladay is the pinch hitter for Detroit.
Career high for strikeouts in a game, Andrew Cashner. 10. Count them, 10.
Ground ball to short. Nice hop for Cabrera. 1, 2, 3. The Tiger story. That's been a familiar refrain against Cashner tonight. 6th time he's retired them in an order. By Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. By Petco, where the healthy pets go. And by your San Diego Lexus dealer. Nice turnout on this Friday night, 30,353. And the Padre faithful have seen the Padres at their offensive best. 6 runs, 11 hits, and their outstanding right-hander, Andrew Cashner, tossing a 1-hit shutout through 8 innings. This is Evan Reed making his 3rd appearance of the season for the Tigers.
Well, a great job by the Padre hitters tonight, getting into that bullpen and taking care of Rick Porcello. 6 1/3 to give up 5 runs. Now it's to Reed, the right-hander. Fastball slider change. He's got a live arm, mid-90s up to 98 on that fastball.
Chase Headley with a double and a home run. 3 RBIs tonight. 96 on the first fastball from Reed. Padres drew 108,000 for the Dodgers series. This is the 4th home game of the season. Another crowd over 30. Oh, he just missed that one. High into the ninth. Davis in left field makes the catch. 1 away.
Hey, let's revisit our keys to the game, brought to you by our Honda dealers of San Diego County, as Bud Black enjoying a 6-0 lead here. Get into the bullpen early. Well, Porcello went 6 1/3. That's early enough, right? And timely hitting. The Padres tonight 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position. A little help also from Chase Headley. That really helped. The 2-run shot off his bat in the 6th inning.
Well, that's been the Padres' Achilles. Runners in scoring position. They were only 10 for 75 coming into the game tonight. Ground ball into left field, and Alonso has his second hit. 12th on the night for the Padres. So a pair of hits for Cabrera, Smith, Headley, and Alonso to lead the attack.
Well, letting the ball travel outer half of the plate and beating the shift, because the shift was playing him over towards second base. Love the Phantom Cam.
I do too. That nose right on the line of the arm and the follow through.
Martinez getting a signal from the bench. He's going to play behind Yonder Alonso.
And watch out. This is the new slimmed down version of Alonso.
That's right.
He might just steal a base on you. Venable. He's going to feel left out. Everyone else in the lineup, including Cashner, with a base hit.
So just hit a homer. Why not, right? Join the hit parade. The skipper, left-hander Bud Black, having a chat with his right-hander Andrew Cashner. Same intensity for Andrew Cashner as if it was 0-0, right?
Yeah, he wants to throw a complete game.
Absolutely.
One and one to Will Venable. Padres with 2 in the first. RBIs, Jerko a triple and Headley a double. 2-run home run Headley in the 6th. And a couple run score on Fielder's choice plays in the 7th. 2-1. We're going to see the 2 aces on the weekend for the Tigers. Justin Verlander tomorrow, and Max Scherzer, the Cy Young winner of a season ago, on Sunday. So to get 5 runs off starter Rick Porcello, not just a mean feat. The Tigers were number 2 in the majors from their starting pitchers. 2.01 ERA coming in, second only to Atlanta. And he went around. Strike 3. 2 away to Rene Rivera.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
You go to bed at night saying that to yourself?
See, now I am. Thanks a lot.
You're too easy. Rene Rivera, single in 3 at bats. Also hit the ball, a sizzler to third for a double play. This one tap foul. Six nothing San Diego. I'm going to say that again. 6-0.
Make it sing, Professor.
There's the Padre box score with 4 different men of Bud Black with a pair of hits. And Darren Balsley, the pitching coach, couldn't be prouder. Andrew Cashner. Maybe what that ball eluded Jerko's glove by what would you say, a foot and a half?
Man, it was close. It was very, very close. It was a great effort.
Only hit allowed. Yeah, we expect a big audience tomorrow night. Remember, Saturday, baseball night in San Diego. Tradition being renewed by Mike D., the president and CEO. Every Saturday night, there'll be a wonderful giveaway item to you Padre fans, and we hope to sell out Petco every Saturday. Pull to Cabrera, but foul.
Hey. Oh, a little help from his friend. You're pulling my leg there? Oh, look at security guard there says, no, you can't do that, dude.
There it is. Verlander and Kennedy matched up tomorrow, and then on Military Sunday, it'll be Scherzer and Ross. 5 o'clock for our Fox Sports San Diego time tomorrow. Pulled to the left side. Nice smother by Romine, but he can't get up in time to make a throw. So Rivera has a pair of hits tonight as he breaks out as well.
You know, I thought Romine had a chance to get Rene Rivera. He's not the speediest of runners, but maybe he couldn't find the handle out of the glove. Great stop by the Tigers shortstop. Yeah, right there, that little fumble right there. Rather hold on to it rather than trying to airmail it to make a good throw.
He might have had a play on Alonso, but with 2 outs, Alonso running at the crack of the bat. And look at this, a standing ovation for Andrew Cashner. Oh, isn't that good to see? And part of the offense as well with a single, a sharp single up the middle. And then showing his legs first to third on the base hit by Cabrera and really sprinting home to beat a throw by Romine with the infield in. Score a run. That ball gets away and the runners advance. Alonso to third and Rivera to second. See how they call it. Looked like it went right through Vila's legs.
Yeah, when I first looked at that, I would generally say pass ball. I think that hit his glove. A very catchable ball looked like.
That's how it scored. Pass ball. Up off first, not very high, but a nice sprint by Martinez to get just shy of the dugout of the Padres to make the catch. Andrew Cashner trying to complete the deal. A shutout coming up. runs and 13 hits for the Padres tonight, and a 6-0 shutout. Working for Andrew Cashner, one single that just eluded second baseman Jed Jerko. Single off the bat of Rajay Davis. And now in the top of the ninth inning, it'll be Davis, Kinsler, and Miguel Cabrera as Cashner goes for a rare complete game and a shutout. Little clubhouse meeting with himself. And now he'll toe the slab. Well, it's time for our Carl's. Here comes the surprising moment of the night. Our Carl's Jr. star of the game. Don't guess. Tell you later. Rajay Davis fouls it back.
The adrenaline's got to be pumping for Andrew Cashner.
No, he wants the shutout.
He has pitched one heck of a gem up to this point. Still got the good sinker working.
10 strikeouts, 2 walks. Really haven't been any balls hit all that hard. The single was a jammer that just did elude Jerko. Cabrera charges. One away. Okay, end the suspense. Time now for the Carl's Jr. star of the game. How about Andrew Cashner?
He has had it working tonight. 8 1/3 with that last out. Only 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks. He has punched out 10. He's been consistent all night long.
And he's outscored the Tigers 1-0 with his single. Roman to third and then scoring with the infield in. He has been brilliant tonight. Ian Kinsler.
You know, Dick, according to my scorebook, and correct me if I'm wrong, I've only got 3 fly balls. The rest are ground outs or strikeouts.
1, 2, 3. You're right. And I don't have 1 line drive out. Ground ball to Headley. He gets Kinsler 2 away.
That means that the 2-seamer is working. Not only getting the ground ball, but getting the swing and miss as well. Hence the 10 punch-outs for Andrew Cashner.
But think of it, fans. In 46 seasons with the San Diego Padres, nary a no-hitter. And here's Andrew Cashner living up to his billing. Top of the rotation. Remember in Pittsburgh, a 1-hitter. Faced only 27 batters. Nearly perfect. And here he is tonight, offering these fans a brilliant evening of pitching. Now, can he take care of the toughest hitter in baseball, Miguel Cabrera, to end the game? Cabrera, safe on an error, grounded to short, grounded into a double play. 1-1. Cashner has pitched this gem against one of the best lineups in baseball. Down to the final strike. 93 on that fastball. He reached 98 earlier in the game. Struck him out. Andrew Cashner, a 1-hit shutout. And a standing ovation from the 30,353 that witnessed a beauty tonight. And what a punctuation mark. Striking out Cabrera to end the game. How about that? Mike Pomerantz, what a game.
Oh, you cannot ask for more than